Good morning from day 183. It is 8:30 and I'm just getting started. I stayed up too late last night because I got into camp late and then my brain couldn't shut off and I got like a second wind and so I slept until 7:30, so I got 8 hours of sleep, which was good. But getting a little bit of a later start today. I have around 16 miles, I think, to the shelter just past Hanover. But I go through 2 towns today, which is kind of exciting. The first one used to have a general store, but it was destroyed in 2011 by Hurricane. It was either Irene or Aaron. I think Irene. And so they don't have a lot of, I think there might be some like pop-up farm stand situation. And then obviously Hanover, which has everything. So I'll probably get dinner there before I go up to the shelter. I know people also camp behind the Dartmouth baseball field, but we'll see how it goes. There's also, I think the town in, I keep wanting to say Virginia, Vermont, Norwich, I think that's what it's called. Apparently hotels are cheaper there. Dartmouth is right in Hanover, and so like most of the hotels there are really expensive for visiting families, not for hikers. The birds are out and about this morning. You can see the fog or the clouds stuck in between those 2 ridges. Does anyone know what these are? I've seen them, like they connect a bunch of trees. So, I don't know, it looks like there could be water in them, but that doesn't really make any sense. So, anybody got any bright ideas? Doing a little bit of road walking this morning. Down into the actual town. This is, I can't remember. West Hartford, I think. I'm telling you, every town in Vermont, so many of them sound like they're in Connecticut, and it's confusing me. But doing some road walking today. I just caught back up with the crew that I've been hiking on and off with for the past few days. And they're gonna jump off the bridge into the river. So I'm gonna go down and film them, because there's no way I'm doing it.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. Woo!
I just barely caught that one.
good. How was that?
I landed on my back.
I have a new friend. It's 11:30 and it's hot out. The sun's beating down. But I just, let's see, you will have seen the clips of all of them jumping off the bridge. I did not, but I did go into like my knees and cleaned off my legs and my feet and my arms, which was very nice. And then went over to, there's a lady who lives on the corner who lets hikers stay there. And she had coffee and some melon out. And I was like, oh, thanks so much, I don't drink coffee. So she opened up her fridge and had lemonade and soda. So I had a lemonade, which was super great. And I'm back to walking. I have about 10 miles left. The first 4 is climbing, and then it's like kind of flattened down for the rest of it. This is so funny to me that the telephone poles or the wires are just like in the trees and covered in ivy, because in California that would not fly. Oh, it's grapes. Huh. In California, because PG&E, our Pacific Gas and Electric Company, has caused so many fires. So in most places, like I think most places in California at least, they're required to go around and clear like a bunch of feet. I know in some places it's like a 10 feet tunnel around so that fires can't happen, but on the East Coast, that is not a thing at all. Alright, this is poison ivy. For sure. There's a lot of it. Have not seen poison ivy in a bit. I'm pretty darn sore. And so I stopped at a stream and drank about, I don't know, 2/3 of a water bottle in the hopes that I'll be better hydrated and it'll help flush the lactic acid out of my body. But it doesn't work that fast, unfortunately. Back to climbing. But I'm gonna snack on some goldfish as I go. Unless it's this steep the whole time, then that will not be feasible. I made it to whatever shelter I'm at. I'm not going to the shelter, but I'm starting to get really, really tired. So I'm gonna eat some lunch, and hopefully that gives me some more energy. Oh, I'm on the struggle bus today. My goodness. I don't think my legs have ever felt this trashed in my life. It's pretty bad. But it's 1.3 miles to the road, and then the rest of it is road walking. So maybe that's easier. I don't know. I'll be in town and can like stop and get stuff. Hanover has like everything. All the food options. We'll see if I make it to the shelter outside of, it's like a mile up out of Hanover. But the group is staying in the woods like right outside of Hanover. So I don't know. And a new episode of that TV show is coming out tomorrow and I have to watch it. So I need service. But either way, tomorrow it's either a 15 or a 16 mile day, depending on what I do today. And it's either a 15 or 16 mile day today, depending on what choice I make. So I'm gonna start walking again. It's almost 3 o'clock and can't sit here forever. I made it to the road. It is very steep, but at least I don't have to look down at my feet because I know I'm not gonna trip over something. Okay, I'm walking across. This is the Connecticut River, and I am almost done with Vermont. Because here is the sign. I'm in New Hampshire. I hope you guys can hear me, but I'm officially in New Hampshire. So let's see. Best thing about Vermont. I really should have thought of this beforehand. I think the best thing about Vermont was all the pine trees. And like the majority of Vermont smelled really, really good. And then worst thing about Vermont is, I don't know, it was hard. I think it was a rough transition of me being off trail for a month and then coming back and hitting, like starting to do bigger miles, because I went slowly through the rest of Massachusetts. Big miles in Vermont, and the elevation gain gets like crazier in Vermont. So that was a little challenging. I'm in Hanover and learned that the reason the traffic was so bad and why there are heaps and heaps of people is today and the next 3 days is Dartmouth move-in day. So, interesting timing to be hiking through Dartmouth. You are getting stared at by hundreds of parents wondering what the hell is going on. There's a Dartmouth soccer game happening right over there. We are set up behind the baseball fields and the soccer field. I can hear people screaming right now. I think I set the tent up in record time. I was being swarmed by mosquitoes. Like, genuinely hasn't been this bad since New Jersey. But I threw on my rain pants and my puppy, so I don't think I got bit. It's a mediocre setup. It'll do. But yeah, I already ate pizza, so I'm not really that hungry. At some point I am gonna go have to hang my bear line, but that's a problem for not right now. Honestly, thank goodness this thing is reflective, because I would not have been able to find it otherwise. It is nighttime now. Most of the group went out to get margaritas. I did not. But let's see. Okay, so I got into Hanover and then ran into one of the guys from the group. Said everyone else was over at this pizza place that gives out free pizza to thru hikers. So we walked in and everyone else was already sitting outside and had had their pizza. So we walked in, I got a slice of mushroom, he got a slice of cheese, I think, or pepperoni. And we're standing there waiting for our pizza. And this other guy who works there walks out with a whole cheese pizza, goes, "Hey, I accidentally made an extra, you guys want it?" And we were like, yeah. So I ate 3 pieces of pizza, and we sat and chatted for a bit. I laughed a lot. And then we walked over to the food co-op, and I got some chocolate milk and some mango lemonade. they also had, there's like no service in town. There weirdly is where I'm camping, but in town there isn't. And so I used their Wi-Fi and was able to get some emailing done and stuff, and heard back from one of our amazing YouTube people who is going to pick me up on Thursday and drive me back to Hanover so I can catch the bus to Boston. And yeah, so I got that all figured out, which is great. And then we came and set up our tents. There's like 8 tents out here, but it's almost 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna write in my journal and get ready for bed. But I would say my highlight is entering New Hampshire, and my character builder is that my body feels trashed, so I'm gonna stretch too. I forgot to mention that. Good night.